As you started reading our syllabus, hopefully discussions caught your eye as part of our every week work in this class. In this quick, fun video today, I want to tell you what the purpose of discussions are in your online learning. Whether this is your first class or your last course in your studies, I want to give you some pointers on how to make the most of discussions and of our time together in this class. So why discussions? Obviously, we're not face-to-face most of the time in this class, but academic research tells us that adult learners like you and me learn better when we have a chance to think about our ideas and when we can share them with others. Discussions are not just busy work of one more thing to do in the week. I want to see your discussion posts and your follow-up responses to understand what you learned in the week and how you apply those ideas to your own personal goals. Discussions aren't just about earning points, though they do contribute to your overall grade each week. Their primary purpose in our class is to let you interact with your classmates about our topics. Discussions aren't just about giving a pat on the back to your classmates, but they are a place to grow and explore your ideas with the support of your classmates. You are busy, and I know this class is just one part of your life, so I want to help you make the most of your discussions and your time in our class. Here are my tips for your initial responses to our discussion threads. My primary tip is for you to post your initial thread as early in the week as you can after you have read the full materials and assignment directions. Tip number 2 is to double check that you are answering the question that is being asked in the prompt. Discussions aren't a place for you to just talk about a random idea that you have this week, but rather we try to direct what you're thinking about and what others will be thinking about with that prompt for every discussion thread. Tip number 3, if you are using other sources like quoting from the materials that you read to help support your answer, give credit to that source. Plagiarism exists even in discussion boards if you try to take credit for someone else's work. After you have posted your initial response to the thread, be sure to reply to others. This is where the engagement really comes into play in discussions. Here are just a few things to think about in your participation responses. Tip number 1, continue linking what you've learned in your readings as you respond to your classmates. They read the same materials each week, but maybe they understand it in a different way. Explain what you mean when you respond to them. Tip number 2, what would you say if you were standing face-to-face with this classmate and you had to discuss the topic for a certain amount of time? Ask questions of each other, relate back to what they shared, or share your own thoughts. Tip number 3, follow up on your posts. Did someone respond to your initial response yet? Answer back and make it a two-way conversation. You aren't required to respond to my posts back to you every week, but be on the lookout for my questions and the opportunities to further your thinking about the topics. Tip number 4, remember we're all here together, so we need each other's support. Build each other up. Leave critical feedback to me. Remember, I'm paid to do that part of this job. Writing "good job" or "I like your post" doesn't give your classmate a lot to work with, other than a few seconds of support. Explain why you liked what they wrote and what you think about the topic. You might be nervous about posting in our classroom in the discussion, but I want to let you know that we are all learning together in this class. If you tell yourself you can't write, chances are you're holding yourself back. Give it a try, and every week I know you'll see improvement. Discussions are just one part of your learning and part of your path to meeting your educational goal. Please let me know if you have any questions about these tips. I want to see you all succeed.
Created using Powtoon.